Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students and all viewers, welcome to the channel English Literature and Linguistics, a channel for literature lovers. In the previous video, I have discussed formalism, and in the same video, I have mentioned two types of formalism or two schools of thoughts of formalism, such as Russian formalism and new criticism. The current video is about Russian formalism, and let's start our topics without any delay. In this video, we are going to discuss these topics. What is Russian formalism? What are the two groups of Russian formalism? Some prominent Russian formalists, stages of formalism, defamiliarization, literariness, failure, and suicide. Let's proceed to our topic. And the first one is, what is Russian formalism? Russian formalism is a school of literary studies that emerged in the second decade of the 20th century. It originated in the study of language dialect, and folklore at the Moscow Linguistic Circle, established in 1915, and in the work of the Petrograd Society for the Study of Poetic Language. Russian formalism laid the foundation of modern literary theory. These formalists were first to see literature as an autonomous domain of theoretical inquiry, steering away from aesthetic, sociology, psychology, and history, and seeking support in linguistics. Formalists hold that the true meaning can be determined by analyzing the literary elements of the text and by understanding how these elements work together to form a cohesive whole. Russian formalists rejected the claim that the life of an author determines the types of literature that he produces. They also oppose the claim that only those things which can be felt with the senses and verified are real and worthy in life. They did not favor the use of historical, sociological, and other type of knowledge for interpreting literature. They never believed that poetic language was referential in nature and did not entertain subjective readings of works of literature. They were professed opposer of the symbolist movement. In the coming videos, Russian formalists will be analyzed more deeply. Prominent Russian formalists were the following: Victor Shklovsky, Roman Jakobson, Yuri Tainyanov, Boris Akambov, Osip Brek, Boris Tomarovsky, Vladimir Frov, Afetri Bogatriu. Let's proceed to our next topic. There are two groups of Russian formalism, and these are the following. Number one, the Moscow Linguistic Circle, led by Roman Jakobson. This school was established in 1915, and other leading formalists of this group are Osip Brek and Boris Tomarovsky. The other group is the Society for the Study of Poetic Language, OFIAS. This group was established in 1916, and the leading figures of this group included Victor Shklovsky, Boris Akambov, and Yuri Tainyanov. Some other important critics associated with these movements include Leo Jokovinsky and the folklorist Vladimir Frop. There are three stages of Russian formalism, or in other words, of formalism. Before its decline or collapsing, formalism went through these stages. Number 1, 1916 to 1921. In this stage, the total focus of the Russian formalists or all formalists was on the poetical language and prose composition. Number 2, 1921 to 1928, and formalists attempted to reconsider and re-examine a lot of literary glitches to reform their theory. The last stage is from 1928 to 1935. This period was the decline of Russian formalism due to Stalin's historical and political pressure. Dear students, now let's define some key concepts in the Russian formalism, and these are: number 1, defamiliarization or Austinian; number 2, literariness; number 3, fabula and sujet. Defamiliarization was introduced by Victor Shklovsky in his essay written in 1917, Art as Technique. Literariness was introduced by Roman Jakobson in 1919, and fabula and sujet was introduced by Vladimir Frop and Victor Shklovsky. Let's define them one by one. The first one, defamiliarization. What is defamiliarization in literature according to formalists? Defamiliarization involves exploring differences between literature and reality. It can mean drawing attention to something that is usually familiar but making it seem alien, or else drawing attention to the act of writing itself and forcing readers to reckon with what makes something a work of art. In other words, according to Russian formalists, literature makes familiar things and happenings appear new and interesting to us. Let's proceed to the next topic, literariness. What is literariness in Russian formalism? Literariness is the feature that makes a given work of literature a work of literature. In other words, it differentiates between the language of a literary work and non-literary work. Let's proceed to the last topic of Russian formalism, literary theory, and these are fabula and sujet. What is sujet or fabula? Fabula is the elemental materials of a story. Whatever is the story about, what events may be presented in the story as fabula. Sujet is equivalent to a plot. It is the sequential order of those events in story to convey the story to the reader in a cohesive way. In other words, tabula refers to the chronological sequence of events in a narrative, and sujet is the representation of those events. Students and all viewers, soon I will be with a new video about new criticism, the second school of thought, Russian formalism. See you soon, stay blessed and keep watching my video please.